So I'm getting ready to do the video. I made some notes. This way we're on track this time for a video. And I'm writing down what I want to say, and then the market opens, and everything changes immediately as the market opens, because it was actually down to 238. Now it's up to 261. I have no idea what it's going to be at the time that you guys see the. It's 100,000, isn't it? Fantastic. Fantastic. High five. I have no. It's changing but it's GameStop. Anyway, what's up, guys? Today we are going to talk about that crazy stuff that happened yesterday, not even just in GameStop. If we take a look at the 5-day charts, we see this little blip. It really kind of is. As crazy as the stock has been going, it's still on trend, right? It's still, the trend is still fine. This is a sharp increase and a sharp drop. Absolutely incredible. Not incredible in a good way. Absolutely insane. Breaking most of us emotionally. If you were not broken emotionally, I'm diamond hands. I've seen crazy stuff like this before. I was still shaking. I was like, I just lost. How much money? Oh God, that's a year's salary. Okay. That's cool. No, yeah, I'm fine, guys. Everything's fine. But the thing to remember is, I knew it was hedge fund manipulation, right? I knew someone just dropped millions of shares at that point, right? So, of course, that's why the massive decrease immediately. In addition to that, there was also the same pattern, basically, for AMC. If we see there's a big run-up, right? It was a little bit different in the actual what it looked like. Because we see a run-up in the beginning, and then we see another sharp, steep run-up, and then a steep drop, right? Here we see more of a run-up in the beginning, and then kind of plateau, and then a drop. And then here we see, not even the 5-day. This is kind of less of a thing, right? We still see it, but it's more of a blip, because BlackBerry's, there's less things going on with BlackBerry. I'm not excited. I'm not in BlackBerry. I'm not in AMC. I'm just GameStop. I see the play in GameStop, and that's why I'm in it. I'm not in every meme stock because I love meme stocks. I don't love meme stocks. I'm sorry. I don't love meme stocks, but I understand the play with AMC. I'm not really a huge fan of BlackBerry, but it is what it is. Anyway, back on track. It's already down to 252. This stock moves faster than I can even explain how it's moving and why it's moving. The thing is, they're obviously moving together, right? All of these three stocks are obviously moving. They've been moving together for quite a while, these and others. I think this is just my theory, but that, aside from the sentiment of the people that are investing in many of these stocks together, some of these stocks are bundled into certain ETFs, and potentially the new Dave Portnoy meme stock ETF, which I gotta believe that he's taking a massive amount of money from hedge funds that are short to have this ETF so they can mess with it. I really feel like that's because he's done some shady stuff in the past. I do not trust that guy at all. And it's just interesting how all of these in this new ETF are being, there's all of this nonsense happening with them at the same time. So I really feel like that's somehow involved in this. In addition to potentially some others. So sharp decline was due to strategic hedge fund dumping, which I already mentioned, followed by stop. They also triggered a lot of stop losses for day traders, right? So first dump triggers stop losses. Automatic stop losses already in place, right? Then more dumping because all of those are triggered. And then there's a lot of people panic selling on top of that, right? So it was kind of exactly with the opposite of what we're looking for in terms of what we need on a sharp run-up, right? So that's actually good that we were able to see what we're looking for the opposite way. And also, those halts are not market manipulation. The halts are there as like a safety net, right? To see okay, if a stock drops so sharp, so fast, there's a halt in trading so that people can figure out what's going on and see if they can fix it so that people don't panic sell and go crazy, right? Because if you make split-second decisions based on a stock tanking 10%, 20% instantly, you could make rash emotional decisions. So that's one of the reasons that the halting is not market manipulation. It's just that's a safeguard in the market. So don't think that that's some kind of market evil there's hedge funds that do clearly market manipulation there. The dropping of millions of shares, that would be more along the manipulation side, but The halting is not manipulation. So one of the reasons that I am so insistent that people paper trade before they ever invest in the actual stock market is, and I mean paper trading because if you invest like $100, and you have $10,000 in your bank account, to see $100 go up and down, you're not going to get emotional, right? If you paper trade and they give you like a fake account with $100,000 and something like this happens, you'll have that emotional like, oh, yo, I am down $20,000 instantly. I'm down $30,000 instantly. Like, you have that gut reaction. It's not quite the same when it's real money, but you'll at least be prepared for that more in advance than, oh, I lost $20. I don't care. Like, you're not going to care if you really too much if you lost $20, right? For most of us, some of us would care a lot if they lost $20. It'd be freaking out about it. Yeah, imagine losing like, 20, 200, 2,000, 20,000, 200,000, right? That's why you paper trade first. That's why it's very important. So actually this dip might be good. Look at this. It's already down to 247, 246. I never know with this stock anymore. I mean, that's just how it is. It's a volatile stock, but it's trading way over the fundamentals already. So we're kind of skating on thin ice. But that's just how GameStop is. That's the whole stock in general. So might be good for people holding because we potentially shook off some paper hands in that drastic dip. And that could be a good thing, right? That could be a good thing as long as we keep trending slowly upwards. Or sharp upwards. I mean, we're looking for eventually a sharp upwards spike. But shaking off paper hands, possibly discouraging day trading with sharp declines out of nowhere. If I was day trading this and there was that crazy drop, I would be like, you know what? I'm going to not day trade this anymore. I'm going to not day trade. I knew the stop loss happened. It didn't lose too much. Not going to day trade it anymore. So that may be good for us, right? That may be good for anyone holding GameStop. Bracing itself for a strong climb without people jumping off and weakening the climb and buying and selling on the way up, right? So potentially that just strengthens the stock. We'll see. Which strengthens the people holding the stock. People holding and buying and selling the marketplace surrounding the stock. So what the stock needs, there's a couple things that the stock needs. It's kind of similar to the sharp drop, but on the opposite way, right? So the sharp drop was most likely started by hedge funds selling massive amount of shares, right? So it started by that. Then there was the stop losses triggered, and then the panic selling, right? So it just like that. Think about on the flip side. There's going to be it needs to start with a large buy from a large hedge fund that's like, I'm going to start, because someone needs to start the squeeze, right? Someone needs to start the squeeze. So either it has to be FOMO investors for whatever reason that a bunch of people would pile in out of nowhere, right? Which may be a little bit, after that sharp drop, they may or may not want to FOMO dump in. But we need a big push up by someone with big money to start the squeeze. Then we see a gamma squeeze triggered by a bunch of call options being in the money, which triggers more buying, which further increases the price sharply very quickly. Then we see the short sellers getting margin called. So it's kind of like a snowball triple whammy effect, and then that starts the rocket ship, right? So that's kind of what we want to see for and then the margin calls. Then the market makers have to start selling off positions to cover the margin calls, right? So then it just goes absolutely crazy. That's ultimately what we're looking for, right? So we need those conditions on a sharp increase. Do we see those? Well, that's what we're holding it for. That's what we're hoping for, right? That's the whole premise behind what's hopefully and potentially going to happen here. So we will see, but this could be potentially good as clearing the runway for takeoff a little bit more, right? If the conditions are more stable, because right, if you are going to launch a rocket ship, if you like following Elon Musk on Twitter, if you're going to launch a rocket ship, you need to launch it in good weather conditions. You can't have like storms going on and launch a rocket ship in the middle of storms because you don't know where it's going to go. You need it to go up, and you don't know if the storms are going to knock it off course, and then the rocket ship's going to crash back down, right? You need to make sure that there's clear weather conditions for the rocket ship. It's pretty decent analogy, I think. Whatever, it's probably a terrible analogy. But anyway, let me just be completely honest. Full disclosure, I sold about 10% of my position. Number one, because I was shaking and I was like, I have way too much in here, in GameStop. Way too much. I sold it for a 480% gain, which, number one, makes me breathe a little bit less insane. I'm like, well, you know what? I already had a big gain from that. Again, I only sold 10% of my position. I am still in this. I'm not saying that, like, oh, guys, I paper-handed it. I sold at the dip. I didn't sell at the dip. I sold at the end of the day after it bounced back up. I didn't sell at the dip. So it's actually down, 10% from where I sold it. So I'm actually not looking to just sell and then be out and then spend on something else. I'm looking, if there's another massive dip like that, I'm looking to buy the dip. And I'm hoping to get twice the amount of shares. So this is really what it is number one, peace of mind. And number two, if it dips like that, I want to get twice the amount of shares that I sold, right? So I sold X amount. I'm hoping to get double that and then make some more on it, right? It's kind of day trading. It's not quite day trading. It was month trading, right? Because I bought it in the near 50. So I just want to be fully disclosed. I'm still in this. I'm still 90% of my shares are still there. I know people are going to be like, you paper-handed little hoe. Still 90% of my shares are in there. I sold for a 480% gain this way. If it goes down even further than what I can even afford to hold it longer now, because if it goes down further than my average, I could still hold it past that and not have lost money from my initial investment, right? So kind of covering my initial investment. This way I can hold longer. And it's down to 241. Who even knows with this stock anymore, man? It's great. But this is just temporary. The whole thing, it's 232, 235. I don't even, on a minute-to-minute basis, I don't even know what's happening with this stock anymore. Anyway, that's it for this one. Let me know what the stock is at by the time that you see this video. It's absolutely nuts. Anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I saw a couple new subscribers. Welcome to all of you. We will cover other things than GameStop, I promise. Eventually. We probably should start doing that, right? Anyway, that's it for this one. I'll see you guys always in the next one.